So I'm really excited to talk this year. It's a new talk every year, as you know. I don't kind of regurgitate my content. This will be recorded, so if you liked it that much, you'll be able to play it back on YouTube in a couple of weeks' time. So, are we all ready to go? And even if it bombs, just clap as loud as you can, so it's better than everybody else's. I just appreciate that. So, welcome to Marketing Showcase. I appreciate you guys taking the time and spending the day here with us all. The slides will be sent to you, and there's a lot of information on the slides. That's just like how I like to do things. Feel free to take pictures, tag me on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'll stand on this side for that because that's the best side of my beard that I did this morning. Kind of messed it up on the other side. So feel free to tag and do that. You can use the @Bobble, Mr. Bobble official. I'm not wearing my Mr. Bobble hoodie today because I was on a flight on Sunday and I might have spilled coffee on the flight on my top and I had to go into the dry cleaners. Scan that and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And I'm always sharing stuff on LinkedIn about digital marketing. So who am I? I call myself Mr. Bobble. I am Manny Singh, CEO of Bobble Digital. I've been in the industry over 10 years. I've been very fortunate to work with some of the biggest agencies in the world. Dentsu, Cara, Intermarketing, not round from the corner now, I was at IMA. I built their digital team working with international and national brands. I was a Liverpool fan. I had to work with Adidas and do the Manchester United kit launch. Imagine how bad that was for me. And I'm from Leeds as well. Only good thing is they gave me a shitload of retro Adidas gear, which I still have, which is worth a lot of money today. I've worked with Liverpool as well, which was the only saving grace at IMA, is that I actually got to work with the brand I work with. But I'm an advocate of digital marketing education, which is why I have my own podcast. I have my own personal channel. So if you want to follow the podcast, or if you want to learn more about stuff, in particular, all the talks that I've done are on YouTube. So my last talk in particular, if those were here last year, was how AEO is the new SEO. So if you want to catch up on some of my old talks, we always record them. We always put them on the YouTube channel. And it's all education insights, which is what you're going to get today. So feel free to scan that. Feel free to listen. It's on every major streaming platform. And you can find me on TikTok as well. So what do I want you to take away from this talk? I don't get long this year, so I only got 20 minutes, so I've had to really condense it. So I looked at all my historical talks. I looked at last year when I came here and I told everyone how AEO was a new SEO. And you probably attended some talks today about it. I've learned them very, very good talks about what you should be doing. But I've been doing something for the last 6 months and I've built an AI tool. I'm not here to sell the AI tool because it's not officially launched yet. I've been working how the LLMs understand or where it picks brands within its LLM and how it picks what ranks and what does good look like. And then I looked at the AI algorithms within Meta and Google. So I've been in what I call workshop mode, like Tony Stark, in that sense. And I want you to kind of take away with how does it decide which brands get seen? Because that's the question. You want to be in the AI overview? Yes. You want to be in the ChatGPT response? Yes. The $1 million question is, how do I achieve that? And is it FAQs? Is it blog articles? Is it ranking content where H2 is a question and stuff? And these are the kind of stuff I talked about a year ago, which I've been telling my clients to do already. Now what I'm looking at is what's really going on in an LLM that allows you guys to win, and what's the kind of cheat code, which I'm going to share with you today. But I've also got some references in terms of just come back from the US last week where I was at an agency event, and oh my God, what I learned about what Google are doing with their ads within AI is unreal. And I got the videos and I got the clips. So you're about to see something completely new from Google today as well. So AI is changing. It's changing dramatically and quickly. 70% of buying decisions are now done off-site. You have zero control over that. How many of you are looking at your Google Search Console? Impressions are going up, click-throughs pretty much staying the same, if not going down. Your GA4 showing that direct traffic and referral traffic's through, but your organic traffic, search traffic's coming down. Hands up if you can relate to those kind of metrics right now. SEO isn't driving as many leads right now. Yeah, it's all BS. The leads and the data is still there, and I've got another talk which I'm launching later this year, because one of my clients, Howden Group Insurance, asked me to investigate how do we track what's happening from these LLMs, and what can GA4 track, and what can HubSpot and Salesforce track, and how accurate is that data. And I have some stats for you to showcase. AI is a new gatekeeper now. You know, Google used to dominate, and I always say, when you go to the cinema, has anyone seen the new Google ads about AI mode? Or when you've seen it? If Google's doing advertising, they're scared. And they're scared of ChatGPT, they're scared of Claude, they're scared of all the impact that these platforms are happening. When have you ever seen Google have to promote its search product other than promote Pixel or Google Gem or Mini, whatever it is at home or something like that? They've always promoted the product. They've never had to promote its search features. Now they are heavily investing into promoting their search features like AI mode, you know, Gemini as well overall. And we've got this answer first mentality that's going on. Nobody's interested in a click. I gave an example last year. I used to say, I forgot my clicker once, and I went onto Google and I was like, there must be an iPhone app for this, right? So I was like, I'll type in on Google, iPhone app clicker for PowerPoint. An AI overview came up, gave me some suggestions. I went onto the App Store on my iPhone, saw the one that had good reviews, you know, good rating, because it's a purchase marker, downloaded it on my phone, downloaded a bit.ly link onto my desktop, and I got it and I got working. I always say, what's the one thing I didn't do in that whole process? I didn't click on anything. I got the answer, I got the product, but the problem there is, where does the attribution go to? Does it go to the App Store? Does it go direct because of the bit.ly link? And that's the problem we've got right now. Then you got content fragmentation. So like, there's so many tools out there right now. And 2 years ago, I talked about how like AI tools to supercharge your SEO. And I came up with, like, there was 136 and I narrowed it down to 6. I'm using only 2 of them right now because 2 of them did stay current with what's going on. And last year when I did my AEO's new SEO tool, I talked about Spotlight and how you can find visibility and rankings of your, you know, questions or your topics or your prompts within LLMs. And then I got some marketing takeaways, which is that shift focus. So the numbers don't lie. You know, 58.5% of Google searches end with a 0 click. That's US data. 80.9% year-on-year growth with AI bot traffic. 70% of buying decisions are made off-site via AI. And this is like early 2025 data, but 37.5 million ChatGPT searches per day versus 14 billion from Google. Google's numbers are on the decrease. OpenAI's numbers and Claude's numbers are on the increase. And we're moving from this, that answer first mentality, where we've gone into what we call the 0 clicks era. And I always explain this in a very, very cool way. So I want you to watch this square on the right, and I'm going to walk you through this video. It should work in a click. So I put in what are the best AI tools for content. An AI overview comes up, then you get videos, then you got the people also ask search feature, then you get discussions and forums, and then you get the first, that's position 1, keyword rank. So the whole scope of your mobile and your desktop experience changes. Don't forget, if you do a localized search, map pack comes up. If you do a search around a product, the shopping features come up. And don't forget, I got Google ads. If you've got sponsored ads that now look like organic ads because, you know, that's how Google does things. It's like a love-hate relationship. That's what can happen. And I call it the decline of the 10 blue links. But the irony there is LLMs look at the first 3 pages of search engines in terms of what it classifies as what's visible. So it's not really about position 1 anymore. It's about good quality content that answers a specific question. So what if I told you everything you've been told is a lie? Famous quote from Morpheus. There's a strategic shift going on in the industry. Traditional SEO asked, how do I rank for this keyword? AI search asks, would an LLM trust me enough to say this on my behalf? It's a completely different game that we're in. And I've kind of found a little cheat code for you. I'm going to talk about just like the launch of AEO Stars. What I've been spending the last 6 months on is hard coding and building, with the support of others, an AI visibility tool. But what I realized that most visibility tools are limited. They just tell you what kind of prompts to look at based around topics, what position your rank have, and we use one called Spotlight. But by learning how the LLMs specifically work, I was able to understand the technical bit about it, like understanding how the algorithm works and how EEAT guidelines work with Google. And I bring it down to this kind of basic thing. If anyone used to play on Nintendo back in the day, I hope you get that reference, up, down, up, down. So regurgitated content means you're going to be invisible to AI. Stop regurgitating the same content and spitting it out in a different way because that's what you want. No, LLMs work so completely differently to where natural search engines work in terms of what it kind of looks like. They're trained on existing data. They prioritize frameworks, opinions backed by reasoning, first-party data, and real-world experience. None of that relates to how you optimize your content for EEA guidelines or EEAT guidelines, Core Web Vitals, how the Google algorithm works from a search perspective, how the Bing algorithm works from a search perspective, which actually taps into kind of like LinkedIn. If I'm going to be really brutal with you, if your content sounds like it was written for Google, it's not going to get picked up by AI. If it sounds like it was written to genuinely explain something clearly, then it will. That's literally what it is. That's the difference between optimizing for LLMs and optimizing for actual search engines. Stop applying the same strategy towards it. And now what I've talked about last year, where you should be creating blog articles with questions on, that's right. But don't regurgitate the same question. Don't have a blog article with a question, then also an FAQ for the same thing. It's not really going to help your website content. What SEO and AEO has become is omni-channel. So when I showed you that video of like the first page of Google, before you even got to the first traditional keyword rank, you saw YouTube videos. So that's a platform. Instagram is now searchable by LLMs as well. So that's social media. If you go on TikTok, if someone spent more than 60 seconds on TikTok, 50% of users end up in the search features. Did anyone know that? And if you go into search features, there's AI overviews of certain elements because it recommends specific search words based on content you're viewing, unique to your own experience of what you fed that algorithm. If you go on my TikTok, you're going to see a lot of tech stuff and a lot of stuff about Marvel because I'm a nerd, and that's about it. But if I went into your TikTok, I might see something different. I might see something more fashion focused or brand specific focus. But I've got a great example later, which I'll show you. Does all this work? Yes. So last year we picked up Howden Group Insurance, which is a big insurance company, employee benefits. We're using a tool called Spotlight, and we knew everything I talked about in the AEO is a new SEO taught work because we were looking at topics and prompts of interest. So if you look at this one where it says like, you know, what services help SMEs design and manage employee benefits plan? That's what it is. That's the question that people are typing in to LLM specifically based on research we did. We know they had a positive ranking in one of the LLMs, position 1 of 3. But in some, there's 10 other brands mentioned and they're not even ranking yet. You can see that their brand presence over time has started to increase. And when you look at, does it work? You see the yellow highlight? We can see that it's actually working with the data and insights we're working with. So by understanding how the LLMs work and how they're picked out, we optimize that content around that specific question that featured across multiple different types of platforms. Who here does PR and link building? Yeah, you need to change your strategy with PR link building because when you look at a ChatGPT response, if you're paying for the premium ones, they actually come up like you're looking at a blog article of a website. The image comes through, the headline comes through, and a short description comes through now, which is quite interesting. Link building's dead. It's not even a ranking factor by Google. Google's never even come out and said actually link building supports your ranking or visibility anymore. But what you should strategically be doing is looking at, right, what are the answers our customers are looking for? And how can we use link building, social media, YouTube, Reddit, Quora, you know, and any other different platform out there from like LinkedIn to like TikTok to, I think the video, to make sure that everything works together because LLMs are not just looking at one data source, they're looking at first-party data sources across multiple platforms. Google's only looking at what you're doing in Google, and that's it, and any other third-party data it has. And then you've got this problem with tracking. So at Howden Groups, after 6 months, said, well, how can we track the impact of all these ranking and visibilities that you're telling us that we're now winning at LLMs because that's what, you know, AI's found us. We're winning, you know, as a result from AI. So I came up with a little bit of data because they use HubSpot and GA4. Only 30% of what you do now from an SEO AEO point of view within the LLMs and AI search is trackable. And that comes down to click-throughs from AI platforms such as ChatGPT.com, Perplexity, Claude, and you can see that in your referral traffic. And if you want more data about that, watch the AEO as a new SEO. UTM tags in AI-linked content, and I've already mentioned referral sessions. Estimatable is direct traffic, because you can't really attribute direct traffic to organic search anymore, can you? But if you are seeing your direct traffic increase over time, and you're seeing spikes after an AI citation, then you know what you're doing is working. Then you can look at brand search volume in your Google Search Console. Is that increasing over time? Because it's brand visibility, essentially, what's happening. Then you've got the unknown source in HubSpot. So who uses HubSpot as a CRM system? You know, you can actually track where different referrals and LLMs come through in HubSpot, but look at unknown source under contact clusters. It could be one of them, but that's estimates. Then 45% of it is dark data. We don't know. It's as simple as that. Zero-click AI impressions. I gave the example earlier. You know, I went on, there's no way to track that a customer came to me or called my offices because they found us in LMs without you physically having a salesperson saying, how did you find us? What was it? Or I went onto Google. What was it in the AI overview? And now most people do that by creating a form on their website saying, how did you hear about us? What do we do now? ChatGPT, AI overview, people also asked, you know, Perplexity, Claude, how many options are you going to give them? You can't. You might subcategorize it as like AI search as a potential. Then you've got AI overviews that don't pass on that referrer. Until Search Console gives us that search feature snippet where we can see if they've come through an AI overview, we're not going to get that data and insights at all. So what do you do now? That's the real question. You need to turn key pages into answer-first content hubs. Don't do the same kind of content hub again and again and again. Build topic clusters around entities, not keywords. Inject original thinking, your point of view, into everything that you're doing. So from a Bobble perspective, it's the Mr. Bobble brand. What does Manny, what does Mr. Bobble have to say about AI and AI overviews and what is AEO and all that elements? That helps us rank. We have that on YouTube. Why? Why did I even bother recording the entire talk on YouTube? Because I can segment that into different elements, different topics and questions that can be found in LLMs because they search it. Structure your content like it's going to be quoted by AI. Don't just focus on Google and ranking for keywords. Push those brands mentions from PR, reviews, citations, social discussions. It's not just Google anymore. It's so omni-channel now that actually we're getting more work from SEO and AEO right now because of how omni-channel it is that I'm struggling to hire specialist people into certain areas to support just on the social side of SEO. But what about Google Ads? And now this is what I learned in the US. Who here is using AI Max campaigns? Now, with everything that's going on with search and LLMs, do you really think that Google's going to give up its, ad position? No, it's trying to make it look more organic, and we find that annoying, right? Because you don't know if you're clicking on a real search and ad. But I just say that's waste of ad budget. Remember, you're feeding a machine that predicts conversion likelihood, and that's what AI Max campaign. I made a prediction last year, and I'm sticking to that prediction, that in 5 years, so 4 more years, Google Ads will be a prompt. You will go into Google, it's already connected to Canva in terms of creative perspective, it's already connected into Gemini, and I predicted this over a year ago, saying you will go into Google Ads and AI Max will do everything for you. You will say, I want to build a shopping campaign to push out my trainers to X audience. I don't want to achieve more than a cost per acquisition of X. This is my budget. This is who my ideal customer is. Please pull in my assets from Canva design and push it, and then I'll build a campaign for you. That is the future of Google. I'm telling you now, I know for a fact, because I've spoken to some of the devs at Google. They smirked when I said, that's what you're going to do, and I know it automatically. So they're pushing AI Max, and that whole system of AI Max works completely differently. Search term matching, automated created assets, the destination URL, advanced controls, and real-time impact measures. All automation. Google's going all automation. Doesn't care about you controlling it. It wants to control it. Why? Do you really think they're going to give up 162 billion in yearly ad revenue? God, no. They're not going to let that lose to ChatGPT. They're not going to let that go to its own AI overview. They make 162 billion a year. They're not going to give up that revenue from a specific aspect. So what are they innovating right now? So here's the video. Here's something new that you probably don't know. Here's the generative AI overview within Google, and the ads are appearing within the AI overviews and within the suggestions. And I'm going to give you a better view of this. So if you look at the top and you've got the bags and the products, these are all ads. These are your future shopping ads that are coming through. That's what's being tested in the US right now. That's what I learned literally a week ago. I was like, holy, AI overviews and where ad placements are coming in. Now we know ChatGPT is doing that with ChatGPT. Who's tried it? ChatGPT ads. Oh yeah, terrible. I know. It's a love-hate relationship. They really get it wrong. But you see how the products sponsored then come at the bottom, but within the AI overview, certain products come at the top. That's all paid for placements within AI. That raises an even bigger question next year when this actually launches in the UK, which is what is actually a natural response or a quality response from an AI overview compared to, am I just being fed by a brand, a product because it's related to it? So there's problems with this. And Google went back on their terms. Did anyone go to Brighton SEO a few years ago when Google said on stage that even if you're winning in everything else in terms of the SERPs, the technical aspects of your website, but if you use AI written content, you'll still rank? God, did they change that by updating the algorithm and pushing out an update last year, which caused a lot of people that were using AI content to rank. And I told everyone, please don't use AI written content because you're going to get deranked. And yeah, so they make decisions and change all the time. And Brighton SEO was a clear example when they're on stage and I had my head in them. I thought, what are you saying? Please stop saying that. You're the head of Google. What are you doing? And this is where it's going. So you've got so much more clearer queries that you've got to focus around in terms of moving from keywords to queries based on your products, what you're doing. But social media has AI too. Now, sorry to be brutal, but a 7-year-old can use AI to create just as good posts as you can. We need to start aiming higher. A lot of the stuff that I see from people coming into me are like, yeah, we could do, my nephew who's 10 could do better than that, and he knows how to use that. It's like, there's so much available out there. Meta Advantage Plus reduces manual targeting. TikTok prioritizes watch time and interaction. LinkedIn focuses on expanding beyond the strict audience filters it puts in. Your audience is no longer about precision, it's about creative. I always say, if you want to win in social media now, it's how good your ad is. I'm hoping this video plays next and you can hear the actual music from it. Fingers crossed it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. Let me see what's going on. Now, so we'll watch the video anyway, but this was on TikTok and I screen grabbed it for you guys in particular. So he's just given a walkthrough on TikTok about the future of how you can use and personalize different images and faces in generative AI in a tool to be used in ads. And how impressive is that? Very impressive, right? All he's doing at the top is being replicated by someone else different. So you know it's TikTok because I took it from TikTok. Now, the reason I showcased that one is 106,000 likes, 3,700 comments, 53,000 saves, 14,500 views. In the search bar at the top, AI character. Downloaded because search one anime app. How to replace characters in videos using AI tools 1.2.2 animate. That was an ad that got that much interaction. Why? Because it's so interactive and it gets the audience hooked. The whole goal of that ad was to get people to download and trial the 1.2.2 anime app. And it showed that in a very, very visual way with an influencer. That's the level of ad creativity you need to do in order to win within the AI algorithms, especially with tools like TikTok, Meta, LinkedIn. A basic standard carousel post or an image or a basic video isn't going to cut it anymore, especially if you want to win in it. And that's focused on AI characters and certain search terms, because there's a search targeting feature within TikTok. And I say TikTok's the biggest threat to Google and OpenAI more than anything else, because we get a lot of short-term and quick information from that platform. And like I said, anyone who spends more than 60 seconds within TikTok ends up within the search feature, as well as the TikTok shop. And if you're going live, apparently you want to say, I love TikTok Shop Live, apparently. I don't know what that whole phrase is about. So if you see people saying that a lot on TikTok, that knows, that A, I've spent too much time on TikTok, and B, that, something crazy is going on. And that was an ad from October when that was actually posted. And that was only something I saw a month ago. And I captured that. I want to show you. That's the level of Gen AI powered social media marketing that's going on right now. And look at the results they're giving it. So that's B2B. So hands up if you're B2B and using TikTok. My question is, why not? Because that AI is choosing the right winners. How many, from that interaction, just think how many downloads or trial platforms they must have got from that. Then it comes down to obviously the payment profile. So think about it, you're losing potential customers if you don't realize that AIs and different platforms work in different ways. And that's what you've got to start gearing towards. Final thoughts. AI choose winners across different major channels. From an SEO point of view, it's all about extractability and authority. When it comes to paid search, it's signal quality and data maturity. That's where the AI Max feature comes into play. Paid social, it's all about that creative velocity and engagement strength. If you can build an ad that gets straight good engagement, not organically will it grow, but if you push that with search ads on TikTok, or you give that a boost with targeted ads and pick that placement or that ad automatically, you'll get a lot more improvement and performance from your ad budget, especially if you're a local business on a shoestring budget. There's so many tools out there now for you to use to kind of create these kind of creative videos. And this is why I know so much about LLMs, how it's working, because I've been building this tool, AEO Stars, I'll give credit to Adam at Force24. So if you've seen him talking, he's helped me in the background build this because he knows how to use Replit a bit better than I do. As simple as that. It's AI visibility for the next generation source. It's launching next week. So all I'm saying is stay tuned. I get your data from this anyway, so you all get harassed on it on email to say I sign up. You'll get a free trial, but it's different to stuff like Spotlight. The whole reason I say this is because it's built with you in mind, not the agency. I've understood how all the LLMs work and pick your brands for the last 6 months, and now I'm giving you a tool to help you win within AI and AI visibility. So that launches next week once I get the pricing plan kind of sorted out. I was meant to launch it today, but I wanted to take my time and make sure I perfected it. That will show your core web vitals, your Google Search Console, your Google Analytics. That will give you specific actions of what to do based on the insights it finds, like a Trello board. So keep an eye out for that. That is something very exciting and very new, which I do hope by the time I come here next year, I'll be giving more detailed talks about the data we found from what people are finding within their LLMs and their brand visibility. There's a lot of previous talks to watch, not walk, where you can walk them and talk and watch them at the same time if you go for a walk and watch podcasts. But I recommend watching, especially AEO's new SEO. That gives you a lot of fundamental insights in terms of the basics of what you should be doing to rank in LLMs. Today's talk was all about giving you insights in terms of what LLMs think and how they work, in terms of what's helping you win, based on the evidence we have with our clients and what I've seen out there on the market. Highly recommend watching AEO's new SEO and then coming back, because this has been recorded, coming back and revisiting this talk and seeing how the two actually connect. It's kind of like a two-part series of what I've kind of done. If you're interested, I think we've got a few cupcakes left at the stand, so help yourselves. Anyone got a cupcake already today? Are they great? Hands up. Yeah, fantastic. Help yourselves. I'll be around for a bit. You can sign up to a pre-trial for AEO Stars if you give me your domain and an email, and I'll give you access to it, and I'll give you your AI visibility report next week once it goes live. So if you want that, come see me at the stand. Also, if you want to book in a consultation call with me, you can scan that QR code or come to the stand and grab a card. Thank you for your time. You've been a fantastic audience. I will be around for any questions should you have them, but I've got to vacate this space in like 2 minutes. Thank you.